Welcome to this tutorial. In this tutorial, we'll talk about the empirical rule with example. The empirical rule basically states that 68% of the data will stay within one standard deviation of the mean, here mu, and 95% of them will be within two standard deviation of the mean, and 99.7% of the data will be within 3 standard deviation of the mean. This picture is from Wikipedia, so you can search empirical rule Wikipedia and you will find it. And this is the mu means the mean. Mu plus sigma means the mean plus 1 standard deviation, mean plus 2 standard deviation, mean plus 3 standard deviation. And this means minus, minus, minus. Okay, let's look at a real example. Okay, here's a data set, which is about a particular IQ test. And you have the mean of 100 and standard deviation of 10 for those test scores. Now, choose the correct model for these IQ scores that correctly shows the empirical rule about the scores. The mean is 100. Make sure 100 is in the middle of the distribution. So here is 100. That's no problem. 100, no problem. 110. This is a problem. So this one won't be the correct answer. Let's look at A and B. The empirical says that 68% of data is within one standard deviation of the mean. So this is mu minus sigma up to mu plus sigma means within one standard deviation. So in this picture it says within one standard deviation you have 99.7. This is not correct. The correct answer is 68% within one standard deviation, 95% within 2, and 99.7 within 3. So B will be the correct answer. Part B, in what interval would you expect the central 99.7% of the IQ scores to be around? As we know that 99.7% of the data will be within 3 standard deviation. So in this data, you have to look at the 3 standard deviation. Okay, so this is count the intervals 1, 2, 3. This means 3 standard deviation below the mean. That's this number. 1, 2, 3. 3 standard deviation above the mean. That's the large number. So the 99.7 gonna be from 70 to 130. So that's between 70 and 130. Part C. About what percent of people should have IQ scores above 120? Okay, let's look at where the 120 is. So 120 is right here. Okay, let's look at how many standard deviation this number above the mean. So let's count 1, 2. This means this is 2 standard deviation above the mean. How do you do this one? As you know that those total error is 100%, right? So the total error is 100%, and now you have 95% in the middle, from 80 to 120, within 2 standard deviation. That's 95% in the middle. So if you do the 100 minus the 95%, you get 5% left. This is 5. This is 5%. However, the 5% means this side plus this side. Okay, this side plus this side. And now we only have interest in the upper side because of symmetry of a normal distribution, you know that this side is equal to this side. So you're going to be use this 5 divided by 2. So okay, one side is going to be 2.5. Okay, so your correct answer will be 2.5%. Part D. But what percent of people show IQ scores between 70 and 80? Okay, let's look at where's the 70 and 80. Okay, here's the 70 and 80. So we need to find what percent is this error here. You know that within 3 standard deviation, we have 99.7. And within 2 standard deviation, we have 95. If we use the error within 3 standard deviation minus the error within 2 standard deviation, you will get this part, this error, plus this error, right? What that number is. So let's do 99.7 minus 95. 4.7. The 4.7 means this error from 70 to 80 plus this error from 120 to 130. And now we are only interested in this one side. So we're going to do, because of symmetry, those two errors going to be equal and we only need one of them. So we're going to do 4.7 divided by 2, 2.35. I'm using Excel just to show you how to do this calculation. You can simply put them in your calculator. 99.7 minus 95, you get 4.7, and then you divide it by 2, you can get this error. So you see that our correct answer is 2.35. Okay. Part E. About what percent of people show IQ scores above 110? Okay. Above 110. Let's look at 110. Here's 110. So we need to know what is the error, the percent of the error like in this side. Greater than 110. Okay. You know that 110 is 1 standard deviation above the mean. So let's find the 1 standard deviation below the mean. So we know this error within 1 standard deviation is 68%. And the total error, as I told you, is 100%. If you minus the 68% in the middle, you should have 32% left. So those 32% means the error from 110 to the upper side and the error below 90. So those two errors add up to 32. And now we're only interested in one side, right? Only one side. So you're going to divide this 32 divided by 2. You will get 16. This says 16% of the data is greater than 110. Okay. If you look at this, you will see that. It's 16. So basically, the tricks here is you need to, if you tell you a number like 120, so you go to this picture and you find the 120 and see how many standard deviation this number above the mean. So you count the interval 1, 2. This means 2 standard deviation above the mean. And then you also need to look at 2 standard deviation below the mean, 1, 2. So from this number up to this number, you have 95 of the data within that. If you want to find the percent greater than 120, then you can use 100 minus 95, you get 5%, and then you divide it by 2, you get 2.5 on this side and 2.5 on this side. So for the empirical rule, it takes some time to get familiar with, and also takes some practice to get well at it. So I believe that you can do it, so just try at least 2 problems.